Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Fabulous. I'm excited to talk to your dad today. He's always fun to visit with. We have a thing called Tuesdays with Charlie that we do every Tuesday. Also have a quote here from Bob Dylan, and your aunt is a huge Bob Dylan fan.
Yes, she
Aunt
is.
Linda. He says, "What's money? A man is a success if he gets up in the morning and goes to bed at night and in between does what he wants to do." Bob Dylan. So that's true. Do what you want to do, but you got to afford to do it too. So, if you can't afford to do things because you were only doing things that you like to do, that might not be good. But I agree most of the way with Bob Dylan. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming right up. If you have a dog, listen to this. FreshPatch.com is a subscription service that will send you a box with a fresh patch of grass for your dog to use for a few weeks. Then they send you a new fresh patch and you discard the old one. You can throw it in the trash, use it for compost, or even put it in your yard and it'll grow into the ground. FreshPatch.com has thousands of happy dog families who love this concept, especially in the colder months. Try it now for a little less. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Tuesday, the 9th day of October. Today is National Leif Erikson Day. It's also National Pro-Life Cupcake Day. What? What does that mean?
I have no idea what that means.
It's also National Moldy Cheese Day, so we got that going on. What a weird, random bunch of stuff we're celebrating on this Tuesday, the 9th day of October. Radio. It's a pretty amazing marketing tool. But like many tools, it works best when used properly. Like, let's take this weed whacker. I could use this to trim my hair. Yikes. Hope that grows back. But that's not what weed whackers are for. Tools work much better when you use them for their proper use, just like radio. If you want help making radio work better for your business, that's our business. RadioReallyWorks.com. Get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com. Time now for, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? And my beautiful bride has to try to guess which this is. Tell me, Heidi. The Pines, Cape May, New Jersey. The Pines. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
Golf course.
The answer is golf course.
Ha.
Golf clap for Heidi.
Golf clap.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Now, every day at this time, we talk about people doing silly things under the influence, but you need to understand, addiction is no laughing matter. If you or somebody you know needs help, you can learn more at TimeForRehab.com. After calls of reckless driver on a Florida interstate, deputies found a car going 40 in a 70 zone, which is kind of the opposite of what usually.
Right.
They were going really slow, and he was swerving all over the road. After pulling the car over, there was a 34-year-old driver at the wheel, and he said to the officers, "Sorry, I was rolling a joint."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not a good plan.
Wow.
That's not a good plan at all. That's what happens, though, when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jersey Shore star Jenny J. Wow Farley filed for divorce from her hubby. She said that parenthood changed their marriage. They have two small children. Well, parenthood changes every marriage.
Well, yeah.
But that doesn't mean you just say, okay, well, we're done. So sad news there. Sylvester Stallone published photos of the next installment of Rambo. This time, Rambo is living the cowboy life out west. What? Maybe that should have just been a whole different movie. I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? I have no idea.
I think it is.
Kind of running out of things for John Rambo to be upset about, really. And our final story from Big Screen, Little Screen. The LAPD busted a burglary ring that targeted the homes of Hollywood celebrities, including Matt Damon, LeBron James, and Rihanna. So That happened out in the
I suppose if you were going
LAPD.
to try and rob something, you go for the big ones.
Ain't worth it. Don't rob us. You ain't going to get much. Not much to steal. Thanks for listening. They'd leave a note. Get better stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Radio. It's a pretty amazing marketing tool. But like many tools, it works best when used properly. Like, let's take this weed whacker. I could use this to trim my hair. Yikes. Hope that grows back. But that's not what weed whackers are for. Tools work much better when you use them for their proper use, just like radio. If you want help making radio work better for your business, that's our business. RadioReallyWorks.com. Get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com. Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FreshPatch.com, promo code radio. A new study says parents have just 32 minutes to themselves every day. And many have to hide from their kids just to get a breather. The average parent polled said they hide from their children 4 times a week. Where's the most popular place to hide from your children? I would guess in the bathroom.
Probably.
Because that's where I hide. Well, honestly, I don't really have to hide anymore. Our kids are old enough.
Kids are old enough now.
It's not cool to hang out with mom and dad, so they don't even really want to be near us. So
No, not really.
I think that means we've done a good job as parents. I could be reading that wrong. A video has gone viral of a female horse running into a French cafe. So for those of you who'd like to see that, I have a link to that in our show notes for today. A government study found that 85 million Americans eat fast food every single day of their lives. We don't do that every day, but probably more than we should.
Way more than we should.
Yeah, it's just so darn convenient.
We need to cut that out.
So I've got a link to that study if you want to read all about it. A Brooklyn maid was fired after she drank a family's alcohol and then passed out on their kitchen floor, which makes me wonder, Heidi, do you have any relatives in Brooklyn?
I knew you were going to say that.
I got to just say something. My wife is not, she's not a raging alcoholic. I just like to give her
You
guff.
sure make me sound like one.
But it's because you're the one that usually does it. I just, here I get to kind of poke fun a little. She likes wine. There's nothing wrong with that. Even Jesus, it was the first miracle he did was he made wine. So, again, I've got a link to that story, all of these in our show notes. A group of investors are salvaging the Toys R Us brand. They plan to bring it back in 2019. That's kind of cool. Are you excited?
No, because I hadn't really been into Toys R Us for years.
Well,
so
hopefully they'll do some things differently to make that brand,
it'd be
stay.
nice if they reopen all the empty buildings all across the
and
country.
I don't know what the plans are. I do have a link to the story in the show notes. The University of Manchester in England has banned clapping at public events and asked students to now do jazz hands instead.
That is the most. I saw this online the other day. It is so ridiculous.
Why can't you clap?
Because clapping causes anxiety.
It does?
Apparently.
For who?
For snowflakes that are freaking out about
Would you
clapping.
Stop it. The University of Manchester has banned clapping at public events. They're asking students to do jazz hands. Now, I got to explain what jazz hands is. If you're driving, don't do this. But if you're not driving, put your hands out in front of you, palms away from you, and like the top of your hand towards you, and then just
wiggle them.
Shake your hands back. That's jazz hands. That is also clapping in sign language. So this right here, that's clapping in sign language. So does that cause anxiety for people who know sign language, if clapping causes anxiety? Have you thought of that, Manchester? Probably not, huh? I don't think that...
It's ridiculous.
Well...
It is ridiculous.
A little bit of clapping is not going to hurt anybody. It's a good thing. And a quick tip for those of you who want a quick tip. Next time you want to make a quick trip to the grocery store, they say don't use a cart. Use a basket. No, don't use a basket either. I should have read this ahead of time. If you need a few items, just carry them in your arms. With no cart and no basket, you will be limited on your impulse purchases. Either that or you'll look like me walking up there with way too much stuff.
Well,
saying,
that's just it.
I should have got a cart.
Every single time I try to go without a cart or a basket, I end up looking ridiculous and dropping stuff.
It's like a skit from some movie.
Yeah.
It's bad. This has been your Scoop of the Day. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. Timeforrehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com. And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone, we call my father-in-law for this little thing we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
How you doing, Charlie?
Is it Tuesday already?
It is. I know time flies when you're having fun, so we must be having fun.
Holy mackerel.
Yes. So you got some good stuff for us today?
I always have good stuff for you.
We knew that. Yeah. What do you have for us today?
A man was arrested and convicted of being a homosexual after witnesses caught him drinking Bailey's Irish Cream.
When did this happen? This must have been a long time ago.
Well, I don't know. Bailey's is pretty good stuff.
It is good. That's why I'm confused.
But that's where it's not illegal to be a homosexual. So if he was arrested for that, that must have been a long, long time ago.
I don't understand why. I
don't make it up. I just read it.
I just read it. I got my staff that does all that stuff.
Yeah.
Lake Jackson, Texas. You ever heard of that?
I've been there.
Okay. Well, they have streets named this way, that way, anyway, circle way, parking way, winding way.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
His way and which way?
Wow. No her way?
Nope.
Well, then.
Which street do you live on? Which way?
Which way? Her way. His way. My way. The highway.
My way or the highway?
Yeah, you take the highway.
If there was a road called My Way and it led up to a highway, it'd be on the corner of My Way and the highway.
Yeah, it was.
Now I want to name a road.
In the 1700s, a lawyer named John Strange, that was his name, and his, what do you call him, the when you die, the epitaph or something?
Epitaph?
Yeah.
We all said it differently.
Here lies an honest lawyer, and that is Strange.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's deep.
Charlie, that's stupid.
Stupid.
Okay, a man flipped off a woman while entering a Utah freeway and proceeded to have his middle finger shot off by her with a .357 Magnum.
Whoa, that's good aim.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wait, that's your comment on that? I believe what Heidi meant to say was, don't do that. Don't flip people off, and also don't shoot people. That's what she meant to say.
The moral of the story was, yeah, don't flip people off.
Yeah. It's a bad plan.
That's a good shot.
Heidi. What a good aim. Wow.
Don't mess with that lady.
Yeah. And apparently don't mess with Heidi.
Then I better give you one last thing here before we get in trouble.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Okay, a man was so that his girlfriend dumped him that he bought a $600 car, registered in her name, parked it at O'Hare Airport, and left it there until it had more than $105,000 in parking fees.
That's amazing.
Kidding. Wow.
It takes a long time. Well, not really. They charge about $300 a day to park there. So.
That is amazing.
That's a bad idea, is what Heidi meant to say. Charlie, do you ever feel like back in the day, the cartoons where you got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other?
I think we got the other one today.
Yeah. Which one do you think Heidi is?
Well, it ain't the angel.
No, not so much. So that he was not too happy with his girlfriend, apparently. And the moral of that story.
Well, they'll get over it.
You ready for a question,
Get
Charlie?
over it. $105,000.
Well, I got a question for you if you're ready for one.
Okay.
All right. Who is the largest tire manufacturer in the world? This really surprised me.
Continental.
No. It's a toy company by the name of Lego. They
What?
make more Lego tires than any other company.
Oh, they make tiny tires.
Tiny little
well,
tires.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't
that's
matter.
a misleading
Lego
question.
is the largest tire manufacturer in the world, which is amazing to me.
Okay, but that's a misleading question.
Well, it's a true question. It's a true answer.
That's a trick question.
It is a trick question.
It was a trick question. That wasn't fair.
Hey, there's nothing about fair when it comes to trying to stump your dad. We got him, didn't we?
You did.
You can take credit for that.
Sometimes
one.
I got to cheat to stump you, but we got it. Well, Charlie, it's always a pleasure. We'll talk to you again next week.
I'll try to be here.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are lowercase numbers in addition to lowercase letters. So you got like a big J and a little j. There's like big numbers and little numbers. You just write them smaller, I think, is what that is.
I've never seen a lowercase number.
I actually have, because I typed one ST and I hit enter, and then it like put it up on the top, and then everything was tiny small print after that. Because I was typing first, and then it was on my computer. It made everything little and up on the top right. So I'm typing, and I noticed, what in the world happened to the next line? I wasn't paying attention to the computer, so I had to go through and like get it to turn off.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So they look different?
They look
letters?
the same. They're just smaller, I think.
Okay, well,
maybe
then that's not a lowercase letter. It's just writing smaller.
Maybe there are different... I haven't Googled this. I'm just reading what I read. It's time to move on. This has been today's Fun Fact. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show. If you have a dog, listen to this. FreshPatch.com is a subscription service that will send you a box with a fresh patch of grass for your dog to use for a few weeks. Then they send you a new fresh patch, and you discard the old one. You can throw it in the trash, use it for compost, or even put it in your yard, and it'll grow into the ground. FreshPatch.com has thousands of happy dog families who love this concept, especially in the colder months. Try it now for a little less. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and this one is a weird one. Cunctator. Cunctator. What do you think a cunctator is? C-U-N-C-T-A-T-O-R. Cunctator.
I don't know.
A cunctator is a procrastinator. I am a cunctator. One who postpones work, especially out of laziness or habitual carelessness. Look at my to-do list. Look at this. Here's a to-do list of something that... Where is it? I need a new to-do list. First thing to do, find the to-do list. Oh, it's under there. But I actually posted a picture of this one day. I have like 6 to-do lists with the same item on it. The oldest one goes back to June. There's been something I've been putting off since June. I'm going to get that done today. Or maybe tomorrow.
I bet you won't.
I'm kind of a cunctator. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. Time now for some weird news. On this Tuesday, a trucking company employee in western Pennsylvania is accused of funneling about $400,000 in customer payments into his personal bank account. Investigators say he then blew the money on strippers and hockey tickets, among other things. 29-year-old James R. Perry Jr. Was arrested and theft charges. He's a director of credit and collection billing and settlement with R&R Express Trucking. He allegedly funneled money to himself dating back to 2015 to the tune of $373,928. They finally discovered the scheme in July, prompting the police investigation. The company may not have much hope of recovering the funds. Investigators say he spent most of it at adult entertainment places and tickets to Pirates and Penguins games, casinos, jewelry, and other extravagances. So, yeah, not good. Don't do that. If you do, you'll be on today's Weird News. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Iowa police say an argument between brothers over, quote, who had eaten the last of the ribs, end quote, turned violent early Saturday, with one sibling stabbing the other in the stomach.
Whoa!
This is actually a week ago Saturday. Investigators allege that 34-year-old Cale Jim stabbed his 35-year-old brother Daniel during a dispute in a room at the American Inn Hotel, Council Bluffs, Iowa. Officers responding to a 911 call found a bloody pocket knife outside the hotel room door. He was tending to an abdominal wound when they got there. They argued over who'd eaten the last of the ribs, and then the beef turned physical. The victim, who was transported to a hospital for treatment, said, "I don't want to press charges." The younger brother, however, was already arrested on felony and misdemeanor assault charges. So don't stab your brother over ribs. I mean, this is the moral of today's story.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I understand you get upset when somebody eats the last rib. You don't get that upset.
Not that upset, no.
If you get some more ribs. Yeah, this is today's moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Time now for Fake News or Florida.
All righty. I love how you cover that up, as if I care enough about this.
I mean, it's all on the line, Heidi. You know, we gotta make it fair.
Okay.
This is for everything. Heidi has to tell me if this is fake news or Florida, something that really happened in the great state of Florida, or we just make it up. Florida police arrest an 81-year-old man who tried to buy an 8-year-old girl from her mother at Walmart for about $200,000.
That is Florida.
It is Florida. Did you see this online?
I did.
How sad. I got 2 links to this. 2 different people shared this with me saying...
That is not funny. That is scary.
It is.
Scary stuff.
So, yeah, he's 81 years old. I don't know why he thought he needed an 8-year-old, but I kind of probably could figure out what he was planning on doing. But I do have 2 links to stories about this in the Fake News or Florida section in today's show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. And I'm talking a little slow because my computer is not going fast. But I do have a cool story here.
Stalling for time.
Bikers worldwide dress dapper for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, and they raise millions to prevent suicide, which I think is really cool. You see the image here of the biker? And he's wearing a little tuxedo and a cool little beanie. So this happened, I don't know if it was last weekend or if it was this weekend, but it said on Sunday. See, I copied the story from the internet. It doesn't have a date. On Sunday, more than 120,000 distinguished gentlemen across the world donned their finest suits and bow ties and tweed to astride their classic and vintage motorcycles to raise money and awareness for men's health. Organized by volunteers in 650 cities, the annual Distinguished Gentleman's Ride raised over $12 million since they first aligned themselves with a worthy cause back in 2013. Riders paraded in their dapper style in neighborhoods, on streets, and along country lanes, from Moscow to Mumbai, from Manhattan to Manila, and other places that don't start with M, too, I'm sure. They inspired, this whole thing was inspired when founder Mark Hawa saw a photo of John Hamm portraying Don Draper from Mad Men sitting on a motorcycle wearing his finest suit. The Sydney, Australia man then decided, hey, we should do something like that. And they, since 2013, raised $12 million.
That's pretty cool.
So it's a cool thing. Last year, 56,000 owners of custom motorcycles and scooters raised $4.85 million in 581 cities. They've raised over $6 million just this year. So again, it's pretty cool to see people doing cool things like that. If you'd like to know more about that event, or if you'd like to see where they're at, I've got a link to the story. And again, it's for men's health. They say 3 out of 4 suicides are men, and so many are preventable if only there were some people there, to be there for them. So all the details in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.